Meanwhile, location guardian of the forest raid scene. Jishuka from Zadaka Guildmaster said those morons, even though I warned them. You wanna live? Get moving already, Zadaka Guild. Rigas, Tobin, Vantner. Jishuka said everyone died except for a few. Even though we managed to capture the boss, they all fell to the small fries. The damage is too great, even so we somehow managed to finish it. End up they got 30 black iron ores, 7 orichalcum ores and 1 blue orichalcum ore. This is everything. Rigas said the amethyst shield that has the worst drop rate did not appear again. Ventnor said but at least we got a blue orichalcum. We fought for an entire day and only made losses. Jishuka questioned Tobin how many died. Tobin replied including the guild members makes 75. While the main force was dealing with the boss, the golems multiplied, which was detrimental to us. Jishuka thought the difficulty of this S-grade linked quest is harder than we expected. We need to take some measures. Soon. Location Barren Village. Jishuka said the 4th raid yielded no results again, and the value of the Guardian of the Forest is falling amongst the users. At this rate the quality of the users for future raids will considerably drop. Zadaka Guild. This guild is composed solely of high rankers as its guild members, but because of its small size, their fame is also small compared to their rankings. Before the launch of Satisfy, during the era of LTS the members were these 17. Due to their small numbers they always perform raids with other ordinary users, but even that method has its limits. For reader understanding, LTS was a famous MMORPG game that was popular before the launch of Satisfy. Tobin said without the amethyst shield we can't continue the linked quest. Let's put aside the raid for now and increase our strengths. Rigas said and Ventnor agreed. Jishuka announced the Zadaka Guild will focus on individually leveling up and enhancing our equipment. In 3 months' time, those who don't gain 15 levels will die. Rigas, you need a minimum of 20 levels. Jishuka went to auction house to find Yafa arrows. She wonders our guild situation truly is not good. We used to attract attention in the beginning of the game, but now they won't even bat an eye. Let's just buy some arrow supplies. Then she noticed what's with this moron. He's selling them at triple the price of a normal 6 silver per arrow deal. She noticed they are epic grade. She thought impossible. I've asked almost every blacksmith to make me some arrows, but no, actually I've never even heard of a high grade arrow before. Moreover, this cheat-like performance, it can be a decisive weapon during a high level battle. First I will have to bid for this, but who in the world made these? If it's not the top 2 blacksmith rankers Panmer and Stang, does that mean there's a blacksmith who has surpassed their level? Meanwhile, Rigas questioned just how can I level up 20 times within 3 months? Vantner said think this through seriously. When she said she'd kill us, I am sure she was serious. I will at least pay for your last meal. Suddenly, they received Jishuka announcement. Find users in the top 100 blacksmith rankings whose player level is lower than the skill level. Rigas said but she was telling us to level up earlier. Is not our guild master a bit too whimsy? Next moment he calmed down after he saw the notice from Jishuka. Go ahead. Mock me, I will kill you. Jishuka announced that user has the skill to successfully lead us to victory against the Guardian of the Forest. Jishuka thought our small team of elites managed to rank in the top 3 of each class rankings within half a year. Because of that pride, we don't accept new guild members. Although we are not famous or influencing like those other large guilds, our strength is recognized by everyone and we have authority in our hands. That is us, the Zadaka Guild. If he's better than Panmer and Stang, it must be because his items far surpass the original ones. All the guilds around the continent will be in chaos as they search for this user. We need to find and meet him first. Meanwhile, Panmer the first place in the blacksmith rankings. He wonders made by a master craftsman with great skills and potential but lacking in experience and reputation. They say, even I don't get called a master craftsman, in the descriptions. Although it happened twice only, I was the first person to craft an epic grade item. I was proud of putting in more effort than anyone else, but just who is this person? Back to Grid, he wonders when will the labor office open. Soon. Labor office staff said Shinwoo Building's construction site is looking for 4 workers. Grid wished to do it, but an old man took it. The staff continue electric pulling work, for 1 person. No one won it. Grid thought I tried it last year and the cost for medicine afterwards was greater than the income. But a man lifted his hand. Next day, Grid's mother questioned, where are you going this early in the morning? Grid said to the labor office, I am late right now. Grid's dad said we will give you the money for your daily wage, so take a break today. Grid said the daily wage is at least 90k won these days. Say he said be thankful he gave you that and use this. I've prepared the bath, so go relax a bit. Grid thought, now that I think about it, he normally leaves early in the morning to go to work at the vegetable store. Did he wait for me just to have a meal with me? Everyone, I have such a wonderful family. Grid said, then Father, please pay back my debt. Next second, bang. Afterward, Grid entered the game. He wonders, it's nice resting a bit and playing the game, but after paying back my debt, my account savings are at 0. I am not motivated. How high did the arrow price go? I quickly have to go to another village. Then he wonders, what's this? Even if they are epic grade, how did it get compared to the normal 6 silvers? 99x silvers that makes 71 golds and 28 silvers. Since 100 golds is 120,000 won, I gained about 80,000 won in 6 hours. I won't have to go to the labor office from now on. Grid immediately told auction house, give me my money. The staff said, here's your 60 golds and 59 silvers, as epic grade items have a commission of 15%. Grid thought, but if I can make money just by crafting items, there's no reason to leave this place, right? Nah, it's too dangerous here. Let's flee. Soon, Grid told Coachman the fees was 8 golds and 90 silvers, it's too expensive. Coachman replied, be thankful that I reduced it for you. Do you think driving a carriage is easy? Grid questioned, did you say that beginner's village is called Winston? Coachman replied, right, they say that it will change into a city because of its high population apparently. The heir to the Steim family will become the new city lord. Grid wonder, Steim? That's a familiar. Soon, Grid said, let's start over properly now, starting off by sorting out my inventory. The weight is slowing me down too much. Let's leave everything I can in the warehouse. Is this all I have? Alright, maybe I should appraise the Mengel armor and Mammon great sword as well. If my understanding increases, the penalty should drop as well. System alerted, understanding great sword has reached 33% and plate armor has reached 65%. System alerted, due to the increase in understanding, the penalties have been adjusted. Great sword attack power reduction adjusted from 30 to 20% and defensive armor from 20 to 8%. Grid wonders, since the durability has fallen a bit, I could repair the item to increase my understanding, but right now I need to save money. Grid thought, since I will need energy to craft things, let's store the equipment for now. Afterward, Grid decided to just hold on to the epic grade arrow he kept as a souvenir. Grid thought, looking at their equipment, this area seems to be for beginners, and over here there's a diversity of equipment levels. Is it an area for all levels? I guess the smithy would be over there. Soon, Grid went to find Blacksmith in the town. He wonders, due to the skill master Blacksmith's technique, they will treat him favorably. When he opened up the door, he find out it's empty. The blacksmith questioned, who are you? Grid said, I want to craft the best-selling item here. Can you help me? Blacksmith replied, the Marrow Company is selling items in bulk at a lower price. Due to that, the items here have not sold well for a long time now. This smithy closed down long ago. Suddenly, a group of warrior came in and said, old man, you still have not made your decision? I told you to hand over the building to us while we are still being nice. Grid thought, this is not annoying but straight up troublesome. The warrior said, sign this contract, and hands over the building. Grid thought, a contract? Is not the famous Marrow Company. Not sure what's happening, but let's sneak out before things get complicated. The warrior glared on Grid and said, you saw the contract, right? Where are you going? You bastard, are you a spy from the Sconner Company? Grid thought, he's a gangster hired by the Marrow Company. Outlaw NPC kill users sometimes. These dudes look to be around level 35. Let's not fight back and act accordingly. Grid replied, it's not that. Since I am new to Winston, I did not know this smithy was closed. The warrior replied, right, I can see that in your appearance, get lost now. The blacksmith said, you criminals, you are about to end a 7-generation long family business. Another guy said, either way, did not your only son die from a disease? Stop being stubborn. Or is it that this place is his grave? Grid thought, stat cool, you are not some hero, just leave, this is none of my business. But will that old man be alright? System alerted, quest Blacksmith's Rage has been created. Get rid of the Marrow Company's minions, and destroy the smithy transfer contract. Clear rewards. Khan's alcoholism will improve max affinity with Khan. Quest acceptance reward. Skill Blacksmith's Rage will be created. Quest failure. A few days later, Khan will die and all quests related to him will disappear. Grid thought, the reward is a class skill. I obviously have to do this. What are my odds? First, there's the reliable skill Legendary Blacksmith's Patience, and the passive skill that gives me 5 seconds of invulnerability when my health touches rock bottom, and I also have the stats of a level 20. The problem is that I left all my equipment in the warehouse, so I have no weapon. Wait, I have one and it's epic grade. Even though its attack power is low, as long as completely ignoring the enemy's defense activates, I have a chance. Grid said, you really don't hold back on your words against the elderly. Even if you are debt collectors, there's a limit to things, you bastards. A warrior laughed and said, what are you gonna do with a single arrow? Grid replied, this is not all I have. I just gained another weapon. Enough talk, let's fight. Grid dodged the slash attack and wonders, since when low-level warriors were this fast, I need to gain the advantage. Great, the narrow stairs. When another warrior chases up an attack with axe, Grid activated the Blacksmith's rage and launched a critical attack. Grid said, does this look like a simple arrow to you guys? Your eyes must be for decoration. Grid thought, amazing. I landed 2 hits thanks to the increase in attack speed. Moreover, ignored defense was activated and it was a critical hit, killing him with 2 hits. System alerted, you killed an outlaw from Winston. Your reputation in Winston has increased by 60. You are now an enemy to all the outlaws of Winston. You have gained 4,300 EXP. Level up X5. You are currently level 8. Grid wonders, plus 5 levels to a level 8 for killing a level 35. My stat points are at 110 now. These guys have high attack power but low defense. To defeat the remaining ones, I need to invest points in strength and agility. Since there's still 4 of them left, I will use them all. Grid invested 50 in strength and 60 in agility. Grid gather his power and kill another one, using the rest of the time with Blacksmith's rage. The warrior said, I won't die from this. Looks like he was lucky earlier. The leader of the warrior said, but his attacks are fast, and we can't fight on those narrow stairs using large weapons. Grid thought he did not die even after increasing my stats. This time the option did not activate, nor did I get a critical hit. The leader warned Grid, if you don't want to live up there forever, then get down. Grid thought, I have no choice, it's a head-on fight now. If they surround me, I won't last 2 to 3 hits. But I still have a backup plan. My health is low and my defense is close to 0, but if they surround me I can kill them all at once. All I need is the health to last until then, so what I need is legendary Blacksmith's patience. While Grid activated, system showed this skill cannot be used intentionally. Failed to activate. Grid dodged the axe attack and wonders, a big failure. The skill I was counting on had an activation condition. Grid thought, my max health is at 316. Why do I have to drink an intermediate potion that heals 1500 health? 20 seconds until I can use the next one. If I don't keep up I will die. Soon. System alerted, you have received 200 damage. Grid again consumed strength potion and agility potion, which increased by 50 for 5 minutes. Grid thought, 10 golds for a bottle. Around 24,001. I just wasted the money for a big meal on a B grade quest. But still it is hard for Grid to dodge all of their attacks together. Grid wonders, I need the time to recover my leg at least. From following conversation, Grid talk with them to buy some time for potions cooldown time over. When Grid's leg recovers, he immediately sudden attack towards and kill one of them. Again, level up X3. Grid thought, I am level 11 now. I am different from earlier. However, when his attack stabbed one of their men, the man said, you can stab me more if you want. So, Grid was slash attacked by another 2. They quickly held Grid, not letting him run around this time. Grid thought, I will really die this time. It's over now. Then he noticed upstairs there was an armor. Grid launched an arrow, stabbing the man and threw it to the leader. Grid immediately ran towards the armor. He questioned Khan, do you want to protect it, the smithy? Khan replied, yes. If you help me this time, I will definitely protect this place. Grid said, then I will borrow it for a bit. Khan reminded him, that's not something anyone can equip. Anything you could wear is on this floor. The remaining enemies came upstairs and decided to finish Grid with a final blow. Grid questioned, have you ever heard of the word overgeared? He then launched a single blow, killing 3 of them in one strike. System alerted, your reputation in Winston has increased by 220. Level up X10. Meanwhile, Khan came upstairs and questioned, what happened, are you alright? Grid said, old man, this is amazing. Why did you hide items like these in a dusty corner? Armor Valhalla, rating unique. User restrictions level 250. Dane's life. Reproduction rating, unique level 250. Khan questioned, young man, did you perhaps recognize those items' values? You even learned the creator's name. Grid said, I can learn just by looking. Khan fainted. Grid wonders, does he have high blood pressure? Well, he was an alcoholic. That's why you should be careful when you are old. Since I've cleared the quest I should stop being so noisy. Let's move on to the next quest. Grid thought the linked quests. So he immediately yelled, old man, wake up. Don't start foaming. Give me the next quest before fading. Soon, Marrow Company knew that the gangsters sent to the smithy went missing. The head of the company questioned his assistant. What happened? Rabbit is the name of this guy. Rabbit said, I don't know. We are certain they reached the smithy, but they went missing afterwards. Head of Marrow Company said, we need to take over every single smithy in the village, because we could not deal with that one. Where's the old man Khan? Rabbit replied, 2 hours ago. An unfamiliar young man carried him to the clinic. Head of Marrow Company said, we imported and sold those cheap weapons and made a contract just to get that smithy. We finally have him on the ropes. We can't miss this chance. You are in charge of this. Deal with it. Back to Grid. He wonders, I got to level 21 for killing a few gangsters. Is not my luck amazing these days? There's even the possibility of receiving linked quests. If I get that armor and sword as a reward, I could become a billionaire. Dane's Life and Valhalla are both unique grade, just like Failure. But unlike Failure, they can be traded and the user requirements are standard. Soon, Grid went back to the game and visited Khan. Khan questioned, did you say you were Grid? Looks like I owe a lot to you. Grid said, we should help others in difficulty. You just need to pay the fee and get discharged now. Khan replied, sorry to say this, but actually I am penniless right now. Doctor said, since God's anger would create chaos, you should pay 1 gold for the fee. Afterward, Khan thanks Grid and said, I really wish I could do something for you. Grid then pointed on those armor and said, give me these. Khan replied, wait, listen to me, I can't give you. These are family heirlooms that have been protected with our lives, please understand. Dane's Life and Valhalla are unlucky items. Since there was no one to wield their incredible powers, they have been abandoned here for hundreds of years. But 130 years ago, a single person recognized their worth. That person was Pagma. Pagma wore these items and displayed his astonishing swordsmanship, becoming one with the battle gears. With his powerful but beautiful momentum, they say his swordsmanship pierced the sky and summoned lightning. My ancestor Albertino knelt to him and requested him to take Dane's Life and Valhalla with him. Grid questioned, so did Pagma agree? Khan said no, he refused, but he said that one day these items' rightful owner would appear and you managed to equip these. How did you do it? I shall make my decision after hearing your answer. Grid thought, is the linked quest finally here? I can't lose this to anyone else. Grid said, well, if I had to say, I am similar to Pagma. Khan questioned, no way, does that mean you are Pagma's descendant? Grid replied, well, yes. System alerted, class quest Pagma's descendant has been created. Follow Pagma's swordsmanship and collect all the legends Abu T Pagma. There is no time limit. If you accept the legendary class quest, you cannot change your class again. Class quest clear conditions, complete all linked quests. Reward unknown. First class quest Pagma swordsmanship. Clear condition, learn Pagma swordsmanship. First class quest clear reward Dane's Life reproduction. Grid questioned, you won't give them right now? Khan said, I need proof, so please understand. Khan thought, am I meeting the legend's descendant just like how my ancestor met the legend? Khan said, if you truly are Pagma's descendant, you will get to prove it one day. Let's have a toast to our encounter. Grid took over his alcohol and said, these are prohibited until I clear the quest. Suddenly, Rabbit questioned, is Khan here? I come from the Marrow Company. Grid questioned, Marrow Company? Did you come here to replace the gangster? Khan said, let's head down and talk. Rabbit said, I was told that you were unable to pay the debt of 600 golds. Khan replied, it's the truth. However, I cannot give you the smithy. Go back home. Rabbit said, actually today I am here to give you a chance. If you hand over the smithy, we guarantee you a high salary and the operating rights to it. These terms A and comparable to before, will you refuse? Khan replied, this affair is not about my job, it's about protecting my ancestor's smithy. Rabbit said, your pride is just as the rumors say, then if we shadow that pride of yours, will you be convinced? Let us have a competition putting the debt and the rights on the line, our blacksmith against you. If a blacksmith more qualified than you wins, you hand over the smithy, how about it? Grid thought, it looks like a good condition, but I am sure they will send out a craftsman far more skilled than Khan. Does he think we are idiots? Khan said, if that happens, then I will be convinced. However, since I have become rusty from resting for too long, I will send out my successor. Do you agree? Here he is, my successor. Grid said, what are you talking about, old man? Who are you to decide? Rabbit said, I can see that he's just a passerby. Are you really fine with that? System alerted, clear condition, win the competition against the Marrow Company. Rewards reputation within Winston plus 500 increase in affinity with the Winston residents. Prize of 600 golds. Failure, reputation within Winston will fall to a minimum. The Khan smithy will be handed over to the Marrow Company. Rabbit reminds, if you are not related, stay out of this. Don't get carried away. Grid thought you were on. I will trample on everyone. Khan said I am sorry about this. I had to protect my smithy. Grid replied no, don't worry about it. Grid thought since I would gladly sell my soul for 1001. It's an A-grade item production competition with the Marrow Company quest. If it were a combat-related quest, it would be impossible for a level 21 like me. But I am a legendary blacksmith who even crafted an epic grade item. It won't be a problem. Khan said I have some materials remaining since the shop was closed. We can train with these. Grid questioned by the way, why did not you report these events to the Lord? Khan replied the Lord is part of it all. He's being bribed by the Marrow Company. Grid questioned is not Winston part of Earlsteim's territory? Did you try looking for the Earl yourself? Khan said I made an appeal and even went looking for him myself, but the Lord intervened each time and I was unsuccessful. Grid said don't worry too much, I will win this competition. You even left me in charge since you trusted me. Khan said of course I do. Thanks for cheering me up. If my son were alive, he would have been an upstanding man like you. Grid said don't cry and come on over. Your worries will disappear if you see me with the bellows. Grid thought why am I being kind unlike my usually? Well since Khan is my lucky gold mine, I must have unconsciously right. But old man Khan reminds me of my grandfather. His gentle words and attitude are very similar. Fighting with fire and steel alongside someone I am fond of. Moments like these make satisfy feel like reality. The next day, location Marrow Company. Valmon the head of the Marrow Company mad and questioned Rabbit, why you do such an unnecessary thing? It was a smithy that would be ours as long as he could not pay the debt. Why did you make an unnecessary arrangement and give him a chance? Did you secretly make a deal with Khan? Rabbit replied currently, the business district is doing badly because the Marrow Company took the residents' properties. Considering the Marrow Company's long-term business, it is best to be friendly with the residents. Valmon said are you trying to teach me a lesson? I am the one who bought those shitty lands and those rights. Those ungrateful bastards. Rabbit thought this is Valmon's limit, it will be harder for the Marrow Company to grow any further. Rabbit said the residents greatly respect Khan who has been resisting alone against the company. We must create the impression that we are giving him and his skills another chance. That way, we will be able to improve the company's image. Valmon replied and the company will be able to attract loyal customers. If this brings profit, it would not be so bad. What about our opponent? Could he win? Rabbit said according to our investigations he is just an ordinary young man with no reputation. We have already prepared a craftsman who will definitely win this for us. Valmon said then it's perfect, we will completely destroy them. Rabbit thought even if you are a nameless person, we will send out our best blacksmith to face you. This kind of unknown variable is what I am most wary of. Meanwhile, an old man questioned Khan really? That bony boy erased Vale and his men. He just looks like an innocent young lamb to me. Khan replied unlike his appearance he's one amazing guy. Grid yell keep it down, will you? Suddenly, someone opened up door and questioned there's this notice everywhere in town. Is it true? Khan replied it's the truth. Why the fuss? The man said well, we were thinking that the company is better than we thought. Grid thought indeed, although they sent us gangsters I can feel a lot of thoughtfulness from this notice. They might actually be a nice comp. Khan tear off the notice and said the Marrow Company monopolized the lands and the business districts and got us into poverty. Did you seriously forget the misery we went through just because of a measly piece of paper? A man questioned according to what I've heard. The Marrow Company bought the lands and commercial areas from the residents, who were not aware of the Winston development plan. Did they force you to sell them? Grid aware he has a green mark on his head, so he's a user. This man named who ROI. He continue after exchanging the lands with money. You planned on leaving the village, but later on decided to remain because of the development plans. This situation is because of your self-interest, and not the Marrow Company's fault. The residents of Winston questioned an outsider dares to talk like that? Are you the company spy? Who ROI said I am not here to fight. The company's first priority is obviously profiting. As long as you admit that fact, you can create a symbiotic relation with the company. After all, the company can't persist without the residents. Grid thought the conversation's flow changed. Khan said you are right, it is better to have a symbiotic relationship with the large company in the long run. However, Winston Village is part of Earlsteim's territory. There is a local statute called Rights of the People in the Steim Earldom. The residents have the right to be informed about their area of residence faster than anyone else. Earlsteim imposed this Rights of the People himself. Due to the pioneering age in the north, their new lands have a large impact on the nearby cities and villages. Prepare for change and share information with the residents that would maximize their profits. That is Earlsteim's will. Hu Roi replied, so the problem is that the company ignored the Earl's will and the Lord must be responsible for allowing the company to monopolize the information about the development plans. Khan said, indeed, that is the reason behind this conflict. Hu Roi said, you have convinced me, it appears that there is something I must do. I have heard that the appeals you have made to the Earl have been blocked by the Lord and the company. The Lord and the company's evil deeds must be revealed. I, Hu Roi, will secretly deliver your pleas to the Earl. Grid thought, impossible. This guy, how did he just do that? He did not receive a quest, but made them give him a quest. Soon, Grid followed Hu Roi and said, I am sure you had received a quest from the Marrow Company in the beginning, so why did you change sides? Hu Roi shared quest information. Grid seeing the info and wonders what's with these incredible rewards. Hu Roi said, you notice that I made them give it to me. It's a method that uses the degree of freedom and satisfy. If you actively meddle and intervene with the NPC circumstances, you can get a related quest. It's a method that only the early users know about, so you probably did not. When Grid said, I am also an early user, Hu Roi laughed on Grid. Grid felt embarrassed and log out. Hu Roi thought, let's hurry up, I should not be wasting time here. My level is only at 127 even though I've been playing 18 hours per day. It's because my class is Order, because my only way to attack is Spiteful Tongue. It's harder to level up compared to other classes. Extremely limited weapons, low health fighting power skills, and the most fatal weakness is having no escaping techniques. I need the courage stat that permanently increases attack power and defense, every time it increases by 10 points. I can't become a ranker just through quests I get from talking. Soon, when Hu Roi reached the castle, the guards ignored him. Rabbit said, they won't answer to your words, I have instructed them not to do so. The instructions told you to report to me after instigating the resident. Hu Roi thought, how annoying. I need to borrow the power of the persuasion skill. As long as I use it correctly, I can control most NPCs as I wish. Persuasion passive skill activated. Hu Roi said, I came here to plan my strategy of instigating the residents while taking a walk. Is not that the basics of creating a plan? Rabbit replied, it seems that I have overestimated you. You failed to create a commotion even though we had confused the residents with the notice? Or could it be that this is a betrayal? Hu Roi was surprised as persuasion did not work. Rabbit said, I've learned from experience to always prepare for a betrayal. I am sure you understand why I am arresting you. Hu Roi thought, I can't get away with my battle power. Forced escape. Log out. System alerted, you cannot end the game here. Rabbit said, stop your futile resistance. Don't you know that we can neutralize your log out spell? Since you will resurrect if we kill you, we are incarcerating you. Imprison him in the castle's dungeon. System alerted, the quest has changed into wait. Clear conditions, do not log out for 50 hours in real time. Will you give up on this quest? Hu Roi thought, what, 50 hours impossible. I've done 20 hours before, but if you go over that the capsule system will forcibly log you out and you cannot connect again for 6 hours as a penalty. Staying in a small dungeon for 8 days and 8 hours game time. It will be mentally straining and potentially dangerous, but I am just a single man with no job, there's no one to interrupt me. If I convert the capsule into trance mode, my body just might hold on. I can't miss this opportunity to do an S-grade linked hidden quest. Let's do this. Capsule trance mode activated. From now on, your brainwaves will be monitored to forcibly log you out when danger is detected. When your health is harmed, SA will dispatch executives with medical equipment to your location. It is impossible to shut down the capsule from the outside. If there are attempts to shut down the capsule, an SA employee will be dispatched to protect the capsule. Hu Roi thought, I will be loyal to you for the rest of the game. I will be waiting for you, Apostle of Justice. The game satisfy. This is a huge system where every user's actions change the world. 2 billion users make 2 billion variables. Therefore, in order to sustain the world, errors or bugs cannot be permitted. Someone report quest B has been activated. Please grant permission to dispatch emergency executives. Chulho said, permission granted. I will be there soon. Chulho thought, B, even though it's an S-grade hidden quest that activates on special conditions, the clear reward is a second class. If he succeeds, it will be the birth of the first user in Satisfy to have 2 classes. However, he needs to persist through 200 hours of game time. It's a quest that can potentially harm the user. In the meeting, Hu Roi details being revealed. Chulho said only 3% of the Mongolian population play the game. What an incredible phenomenon. Nah, he said, moreover, his class is Order that has weak battle power, but he still managed to rise up to level 127 by using his class trait to clear quests only. Chulho said, Director Sang Min, What about the Mongolian branch manager? Sang Min said we are connected. Chulho said we have requested a conference due to the bequest. Has the user Ulaanbaatar's safety been secured? Person in charge from there replied yes. And I also have a suggestion, to release the news to the media about the potential first user with multiple classes. If the first user with 2 classes is Mongolian, it will greatly help in boosting the market over here. From following conversation, someone of them worried what if ROI fails the quest. Sang Min said the quest was made to be easily clearly by design should be no problem. When he showed the probability of success at only 9%. As the user will meet the mysterious Apostle of Justice in the underground prison, and this Apostle of Justice will rescue the user after listening about the situation in Winston. Afterwards, the user will get a linked quest to help the Apostle and receive a big reward. As long as the user's safety is secured, can't most users clear this quest? Chulho laughed and said look at the documents. It seems like there was a variable. Share quest information. ROI was supposed to share the information about the village to the Apostle of Justice only. However, he revealed the quest's information midway, which led to the mysterious Apostle of Justice becoming obsolete. And the user he shared it to is Grid. Meanwhile, Grid drunk and cried. He said even though you only gave me a quest worth 600 golds, you shitty old man, you should have given that awesome quest to me first. You gave it to that crappy guy instead just because of a few words, even though I paid for your medical fees. A refill of fish cake soup please, with some free radishes please. Back to the meeting, the man questioned this user's probability of success. It should be 0% rather than 9%. The supercomputer Morpheus must have had an error. He said no, there was no such report. Chulho said he's being like that because the scenario changed and the chances at success are unclear. Now the one who needs to learn of ROI's incarceration is not the mysterious Apostle of Justice, but Grid. Sang Min said damn, this Grid is absolutely the worst. He's still at level 21 even though he got a legendary class. What has he been doing all this time? It's a pity the legendary class went to a user with 0 productivity like him. Another hidden content will go to waste because of him. This guy, he's toxic. Fatally toxic to satisfy. Sang Min questioned won't he actually fail the quest at this rate? We've missed the perfect chance to advertise the game. Chulho though the only things he's done after the legendary class is crafting epic grade arrows and receiving a class quest. This indeed is hard to predict, but if I had to say something, this truly is entertaining to watch. His incompetence transcends common sense. Currently in Satisfy, there are 3 epic classes, other than the most recently revealed Blood Warrior. The details on the other 2 have not been released yet. The very first epic class user is unidentified, while the second one was revealed to be held by the 7th place ranker. Because of that, the community and broadcasts have not stopped debating about what the other 2 epic classes were and who the very first epic class user was. Soon, location Steim Earldom Makaro Dungeon. A few users keep approaching Euphemina to join their party. Euphemina replied I will be joining the strongest user's party, so please demonstrate your powers. A man cast Scorching Heat Wave, while another cast 1 Point Break. Euphemina comment everyone's pretty average, then she noticed another skill seems powerful enough. She thought he must have had quite a hard time leveling up until now. It's perfect against Piero, let me use that as well. Skill Duplication. System alerted Swirling Frenzy level 3. Successfully duplicated. The skill is available for 1 use. You can keep it permanently until it is casted. Euphemina said I am counting on you for next time. Euphemina level 190 duplicator. Then they noticed Euphemina went off. Euphemina thought it's perfect. It should be enough with this skill. It took me 63 whole days to prepare. For this S-grade quest, Traitor of the Red Knights, defeat the target of Asmophal's Vengeance Piero, who is hiding within the Kisan Canyon. Clear reward, Title Agent of Revenge. Creation of the Cruelty stat, Attack Power plus 100, Creation of the skill, Murderous Impulse. Euphemina thought the enemy is an incredibly talented named NPC, he must be stronger than most boss monsters. System alerted the Eternal Hermit Piero has appeared. Piero questioned, did Asmophel send you here? Piero first launched attack, Euphemina counter with Tartan, the strongest defensive skill only known by the first ranked Guardian Knight, Bump. Euphemina wonders I only have 9 basic skills, but I can use skill duplicate 3 times a day. For 2 entire months, I've duplicated all kinds of skills used by top rankers. Thanks to that, I now have 50 highest grade skills in my skills list. Although I can only use them once, it's more than enough to clear this quest. I am the duplicator, the very first epic class user in Satisfy. Euphemina cast counter barrier to blocked Piero next attacks followed by swirling frenzy. Followed by another 5 attack spell. She thought did he die, but then she did not get a quest clear notification yet. Piero still alive. Euphemina cast levitate and keep a distance to recover mana using a potion, but next second Piero's unscathed and said I shall give you an inevitable death. Euphemina thought no I have to survive no matter what. She cast nightmare projection. She thought it is an ultimate skill that traps the opponent in an illusion. I've been keeping it to use in an emergency. It's only for a short while, but he's going to be trapped in an illusion where he's fighting against Esmawful. I have to use this opportunity to replenish my mana and destroy him with more skills. System alerted warning. Due to the excessive use of skills, your physical abilities has fallen. You cannot use skills for a while. All stats have fallen by 50%. She thought even though I've almost cleared the quest, still before Piero recovers, I have to kill him. Then she noticed Piero already recovered, so she has no choice but abandon the quest. System alerted your level has dropped by 2, Esmawful's trust in you has decreased. Euphemina thought 2 months worth of effort just vanished into thin air, even though it was a great opportunity to gain a new title. The title's effects would have been perfect for me as well. Suddenly, someone questioned her, are you Miss Erina? I have a message for you. If you don't mind we would like you to take on a task. System alerted a quest has been generated. Clear rewards 1,500 golds. The title competitor. Fighting spirit stat will be opened. Luck stat will be opened. The skill rolling dice will be generated. She thought since he called me Erina, amongst the many aliases that I have used until today, Erina is the one I used to craft an item. She replied you are from the Marrow Company, right? I will do it. Back to Grid, Khan said stop sulking so much. Grid replied leave me be. You gave such a good quest to someone you had just met. Khan said since the company is monitoring the whole village, if you try to leave Winston you will be eliminated but an outsider like Huaroi will be able to avoid their suspicion successfully. I can't put my benefactor in such a dangerous situation. I would not be able to live on if something were to happen to you, since I think of you as my son. Grid replied come on, no need to start crying again, let's back to training. Did they decide on a date for the competition? Khan said it's in 2 days. Grid thought if I repeatedly use my skills, my proficiency increases, I can feel my movements getting more precise and efficient. System alerted you have crafted an epic grade item all stats plus 4 reputation across the continent plus 80, the persistence stats has increased, the dexterity stat has increased. Grid thought this feeling of improvement is absolutely exciting. Soon, Grid noticed even he crafted so many items, that's it. It's different compared to that time with the Yafa arrows. Grid thought well, we can't do anything about it, we don't have any high-grade materials because of the Marrow Company. We could sell a few epic grade items but either way regardless of my stats, I can feel my proficiency increasing. Moreover I've gained an additional 130 stat points by crafting items. I obviously have to allocate them to dexterity if I want to win the game. But if I think about how I almost got killed by the gangsters, I should also consider my other stats, right? End up. Grid allocated 60 in stamina and 80 in dexterity. System alerted due to the increase in stamina, your health has increased from 936 to 1536. Grid thought these are not the stats of a level 21 user, they rival the stats of a level 75 user. Moreover my stat points increase every time I craft a high-grade item, so that can cover for my lack of combat skills. I obviously need to do a lot of physical labor, but I'm already used to that. During tomorrow's battle, I shall show you the fruits of my labor. Soon, Winston's Central Square Competition Day. The square was crowded with local NPC residents and users. Valmon questioned Rabbit, how are our preparations coming? Rabbit replied everything is according to the plan. Judge announced allow me to introduce the lead star of today's competition. The Marrow Company's Erina. Grid thought she's pretty does not she rival the Blood Witch Yura's beauty, the cheering is amazing, but we have the local residents on our side. Then Grid noticed those residents seems fall in love to Erina. Erina said Mr. Grid, since fate brought us together today, I will be in your care. Grid replied you are not my type so don't mess with me, kid. Erina replied is not that rude to a beauty like me. Grid said you do look pretty but a little brat like you should not go around calling herself a beauty. Erina thought what's with him? No man has ever treated me like this before, I will humiliate you in front of everyone. Erina said who are you calling a kid I am 20 years old. Grid replied that does not mean anything to an old man like me. Judge said today's competition's theme is a dagger, you have 3 hours to produce it, the one who creates the better dagger wins this game. Erina thought if I win, I will gain a new title and stats, but the only thing that bothers me right now is the quest's difficulty, unknown? Does that mean that my opponent's skills have not been disclosed yet? Whatever, it probably does not matter. My plan won't change. The moment he enters the crafting phase, I will duplicate his skill. If we use the same skills, the luckier person will create an item with a higher rating. Even though this is a gamble, I have a 50-50 chance of winning. Soon, she noticed Grid already started forging. Don't get nervous. Strictly speaking, there's no difference in skills. If so, then the one with a better toll will have more chances of winning. Blessed Blacksmith Hammer, Epic. Probability of making a rare item plus 15%, probability of making an epic item plus 5%. She thought no matter how good of an item this is, if I don't have the right skill, it's useless. That's why I will just borrow your skill. Skill observation. Grid questioned, why are you staring at me like that? System alerted, you cannot analyze the target's skill. The level of skill observation is too low. She thought, what? That's not possible. My skill observation is at level 7. I even managed to duplicate an advanced blacksmith's skill when it was at level 5. Does this mean he's a master blacksmith? The top-ranking blacksmith is only at intermediate himself. There's no way my skill would fail. Could it be that he has an epic class? That can't be. Anyus, Cats and I are the only one to have an epic class. Then is he a user with a unique class? Whatever he is, I am finished if things don't change right now. Erina questioned Rabbit, that man has a mentor, right? Make him participate in this game. Rabbit questioned, excuse me, are you asking to change the rules halfway through the game? Erina said, deal with that yourself. You said that we have to win this competition. Soon, Judge told Sir Khan, please come on stage. This is Miss Erina's request. She says that the mentor should participate with his disciple. Grid thought, she's looking down on me. Khan said, let us work together since she has requested so. I am thankful to her since it gives me the opportunity to work with you, a blacksmith I respect, and gives me the chance to gloriously fight for my smithy. Grid replied, alright, let's get her off of her high horse. Erina thought, perfect, you are the one I've been aiming for, allow me to borrow some of your amazing techniques. System alerted, you have successfully duplicated the advanced blacksmith's craftsmanship level 2 skill. Erina thought, good, I've got the skill. As long as our skill levels are similar, it all comes down to luck. That won't change even if you're a master ranked. This game is not over yet. System alerted Grid, the legendary blacksmith's patience skill has activated. Your health, defense and dexterity have increased by 200% for 1 hour. He thought, good, this is going well. Master Khan's concentration is incredible as well. Iron and fire, I can perfectly feel each and every swing. It's all perfect. Khan said, incredible, I am honored to be part of the creation of this masterpiece. Grid said, there's still something else left. It's the Minotaur horn we will use for the hilt. It costs 10 golds, you know. Suddenly, someone said the participant Erina's dagger has been completed. Its appearance is as marvelous as the creator. An amazing masterpiece has been produced in less than 3 hours. Grid thought, I don't want to admit it, but it's really remarkable. That kid was not bragging. She's really skilled. Judge said, now shall we display its characteristics? Even though its features are unbelievable, rating epic. Grid thought, don't be disturbed, concentrate on your dagger and your dagger only. Khan said, that's amazing, she can rival me at her age, but it poses no problem to you, right Grid? Grid said, of course, I just finished crafting mine. I am worried that the audience might have a heart attack after seeing this. Suddenly, a few guards came in and told Grid, we have received information that you are working with the terrorist who ROI. Arrest him immediately. Khan thought, Valmon, so he's the one behind this. That bastard. He knew he could not win and mobilized the guards. Grid said, why would I work with who ROI? Let me go. Rabbit thought, I've seen all sorts of items while working in the company for 20 years, but this is an incredible item that Erina's dagger can't rival, it's our loss. Valmon said, we almost had the tables turned on us by one amazing guy. This is an astounding item. Rabbit questioned, so you realized it as well. Did you order the guards yourself? We will lose the public's support if we announce a winner in this situation. Valmon said, the audience will be more than convinced if Erina's dagger wins. Do you really think I will give up on that smithy? Take that dagger with us. We can't have its properties revealed. Rabbit thought, with those skills, it would not be far-fetched to call him the continent's greatest blacksmith. His name is Grid. Erina said, what's with this amazing item? If we had finished the game, I'd have lost, right? However, the game ended with the audience's support on my side. I've accomplished the company's goal, so I will have to receive my reward. Erina thought, everything else is good, but this one is not great, it's completely at random. but it's still better compared to that quest I failed last time. Erina said that man acted like he was wronged as he was taken away. Rabbit replied, what has happened has already happened. For readers' information will be changed back Erina names to her original name. Euphemina thought he had the worst personality ever, but I did want to know of his true identity. Rabbit said he probably did not know he would face an ordinary civilian in a smithy contest either. Your basics were very crude, but you had the same movements as Khan. Do you have some sort of a copying skill? One day the Marrow Company will get prosecuted by Erlstein for its greed. That's why I am thinking of leaving the company and giving myself another chance at success. Khan's smithy could create that opportunity. That's what I've learned from watching Grid and his skills. When his connections and resources become vast, he will rival small and medium-sized companies with just his crafting skills. Euphemina thought even the top merchant ranker Biga is just the owner of a small company. So Grid was that amazing of a man. Rabbit said, so here's a proposal. Will you help me rescue that man? System alerted help Rabbit's job-seeking plan. Help Rabbit rescue Grid and cause the downfall of the Marrow Company and Winston's Lord. Clear rewards, 5,000 golds, max affinity with Rabbit and Winston's residence. Euphemina thought that Grid guy as soon as I got involved with him. I got a title and an S-grade quest. She immediately replied, very well, I shall help you. Meanwhile the residents decide to take weapons and rescue Huaroi and Grid. Suddenly, a resident was attacked by arrow. Valmont said, Sir Philipson, how does this look? Even the Lord must fear these rebels, right? Philipson said, that is correct, we must subjugate them immediately. Valmont said, just hand over the smithy, and Gare captured obediently. Even I want to end this and go to bed.